And one of the greatest tragedies in life is getting to the end of your life and looking back and realizing it was mediocre and it didn't have to be that way. The number one reason is people are unwilling to listen and care about what's important to the other person. But what if you could be someone who dared to care about everybody in your life? When you're in love, smoke gets in your eyes. But when you're anxious, you talk more than you listen. I asked my wife a month ago, I said, I don't know whether to have an affair or buy a motorcycle. And she said, if you have an affair, I'll kill you. If you get the motorcycle, you'll kill yourself, go with the bike.
I love this segment.
Hi, Dr. G. He hates his music.
Don't I embarrass myself enough? I mean, is this like a dunk shot? You have to do that? I want Melodious Fly to do my intro.
Oh, no. You got to have the elevator music stiff whiteness. That's for you.
What kind of, do I have to take ballroom dancing to even do that?
Oh, my God. What kind of music do you want? You want Jay Mitchell to do your intro?
I would love that.
Oh, and now you're going to get some bass in your ear. Yeah. I would love that. Larry White over here. Okay, great. What are your tips, man?
Okay,
Come on.
Okay. Well, you're going to make the link to today's show. So here are my tips. If you go to Psychology Today and you look up Know Any Narcissists, you'll find this. But I'm going to read this to tee up our talk. And what's going to happen is after I read this, all of us will have to leave the room because it applies to all of us.
To everyone.
Okay, Know Any Narcissists. A know-it-all who doesn't know what he's talking about is a jerk. Whereas a know-it-all who does know what he is talking about is just simply an asshole. I think that sort of makes sense.
Doc's cursing again.
I'll take that back. I'll gargle during the break. Actually, I heard from a DWI attorney. Do you know that if you haven't been drinking and you've been gargling with Listerine and you don't swallow it, you will fail a sobriety breath test? Did you know that?
Really?
So don't gargle before you drive. Just drink the bottle. Anyway.
Okay.
So here are 13 ways about ways narcissists offend. So see if it sounds like anyone you know. See if it sounds like anyone you know in our room here. 1.
You see, I saw that.
Okay, Jeff isn't here because he knew he'd be on the list. They interrupt you in the middle of what you're saying and expect you to listen to them.
What'd you say, Doc?
There you go.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
They take offense when you interrupt them. They interrupt you.
Let me finish. Go ahead.
It's cool. Do you want to do this autobiography?
No, I'm doing
They interrupt you in the middle of when you're thinking about something without asking if it's a good time to talk, and they expect you to immediately stop whatever you're thinking about and give them your undivided attention.
Wow.
Wow, that's a run-on sentence. Yeah,
No, give me an example of that, though, Doc. Like, if you're busy doing something and they just come in and go, hey, look at this right here.
Well, something, this is going to be very sexist, so I'm not only a racist, I'm a sexist on the show.
Wow.
A lot of times, men will be deep in thought about something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and often, sometimes the women in their life will think, well, if they're not saying anything, I can interrupt them. And so what will happen is the woman will just sort of say something and want your immediate undivided attention right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're thinking about something that you're trying to solve in your head, you have to bookmark it so you don't lose it.
Oh.
And now, I'm not saying that makes women narcissistic, but that's an example of when people interrupt you, they're self-absorbed with whatever's going on with them, and they think if you're not talking, you can be interrupted.
Good point. Let's go, Doc.
They expect you to change whatever you're thinking, doing, and feeling to what they believe you should be thinking, doing, and feeling, and for you to do it with a smile. And be grateful to them. Oh, thank you for helping me be a better person. They scowl and act hostile when you accidentally bump into them. That's a good thing. Have you bumped into someone and the narcissist will look at you like, what are you doing?
Right. Or what the fuck are you doing?
There you go.
There we go.
I'm glad you swore for us.
Yeah. I just wanted to give it some realness.
Let's see. If you're walking along the side of a road or on a path and you approach them, they make you walk around them. If you're walking toward, it's a narrow thing.
They won't move.
They won't move. They expect you to move around them. They are easier to upset than they are to please. They rarely say, I'm sorry, and if they do so, they do it insincerely or begrudgingly or just to get you off their back.
Wow.
They rarely say thank you because they feel so entitled. They rarely congratulate you because they are unable to root for anyone else. How's that one?
That's heavy.
Yeah. And when they demand something you're afraid to say no. 12, when they complain about something you are afraid to tell them to just deal with it because you're afraid they'll go ballistic or become coldly sullen and shut down. And finally,
Thank goodness.
you're chuckling and agreeing with most of this list, but would be scared stiff to show it to them because you walk on eggshells around them most of the time.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, with that said, those were the Dr. G's relationship toolbox